Good evening, cadets. This is your flight sergeant, and I'll be teaching you how to do the Achievement 3 drill test online. So what is going to be a little bit different with this drill test is that instead of me calling the commands, because I obviously can't do that, you're going to call the commands yourselves. So for the first movement, you're going to start facing to the left. You'll say, right, haste. Then what you'll do is you stay at attention and say, close march. And for close march, since you're the element leader, you don't even have to do anything. So it'll look like this. Close march, and just stand there. The next movement is at close interval dress right dress. What that is just a normal dress right dress, except you're not doing this. What you'll be doing is this. At close interval dress right dress. Move your hand up here and place it on your hip. Make sure your elbow is aligned with your body and stare straight forward. So once again, at close interval, just right, just move it up. And then to end this movement, you'll say extend march. Next movement after the extend march is columns of files, column right march. How this will work is you'll say columns of files from the right. Then what you'll do, you look 45 degrees to your right, say forward, and then say turn your head back and say march, and then start marching forward. So what this will look like is columns of files from the right, forward, march. Now that you've finished with your columns and files from the right, I'm going to show you how to do a closed march. Now this movement is very different when you're an element leader compared to anybody to the left of you in the flight. So if you want to know what you have to do for anybody to the left, please reach out and let me know. I'll be very happy to tell you, because you'll have to know it at one point. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you what the element leader has to do. So start at the position of attention and say forward march. Left step, right step. On this right step, say close. Do a left step, do a right step, and say march. Now what the elements to the left of you would be doing is moving in closer, and so the way to keep up with them is what you're going to do next. So the rest of your steps will be half steps. You'll go half step, half step, half step, and while you're doing your half steps, at any time you want, except it has to be on the right foot, say forward march. So this is what the movement will look like. Forward march, close, march, forward march. Now stop after you say forward march and come back to the position of attention. Here we're going to do an extend march. Extend march is the same exact thing as a closed march, except you'll call it on the left foot. So this is what it will look like. Forward march, close, march, forward march. And also, once you get to those half steps, again, half steps are where you meet the back of your heel to the front of your toe. Once you get it right here, for extend march, make sure you say it on your left foot. So once I got to half steps, I said forward march. Our next movement is a change step. Now you never really hear this movement called. It's more of a movement to fix what step you're marching on. So if you're off cadence, you're marching on the wrong foot, you use this to fix your footage. So I'm going to try to show this to the side. What it looks like is you bring your right, you always do this with your right foot. You bring it up, pop it here, almost till you're at the position of attention, and keep on marching. So again, it'll look like that. So I'm going to show you what you should do during the drill test. And make sure you call it on the right foot. Forward, march, chain step, march, Now, with the change step, you never want to jump. I see some cadets do that. You never want to kick the back of your heel. It needs to be one smooth motion. Start the next movement, which is a column left. This is more of a complicated movement, so make sure you give yourself the most amount of space possible. So how you're going to do this is start at the position of attention. Say, forward, march. Take one left step, and on that left step, you're going to say, column left. Take a right step. Now again on this left step, say, march. Take one more step, and you're going to pivot 45 degrees to your left. So pivot, and then you're going to take 6 more steps. So 1, and I'm going to take shorter steps just because of the amount of space I have to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now on this last step, step number 6, do another pivot 45 degrees and march forward. Now when you're marching forward, you're going to do half steps. And a half step will look just like this. What you do is you just move your the back of your heel to your front toe. So it'll look like that. And then once you're done with your half steps, say forward march. Now I'm going to go over the movement of what it should look like in action. Forward, march, column left, march. Now I ran out of space, and that's okay if any of you guys do that. So if you do run out of space, just presume on step number 6 and make sure you're at a 45-degree angle. So I step, do another 45-degree pivot, and then go to half steps. Forward, march, and then do normal. Now I don't know how far you went after you finished your half steps, said forward march, and went to normal size steps. I don't know how far you went, but no matter how far, you're going to stop and go back to the position of attention, and we're going to do the movement eyes right. So, how this will work is start at attention, say forward, march, do a left step, now a right step. And on the right step, you will say eyes. That will be the preparatory command. Do a left step, and then again on your right foot, you'll say right, and that is the command of execution. Now, if you were any other member in the flight, except the element leaders, you'd turn your head 45 degrees to the right. But you are an element leader, so for this movement, you don't do anything, you just keep marching forward. So after you say right, keep marching, and then get back on your right foot, you'll say ready, do left step, and then again on that right foot, say front. And what that will do is it will bring all the everybody else in the flight to look straight ahead. So once you're done saying front, just keep marching. And how this will look like, it'll look like this. Forward, march, eyes, right, ready, front. So cadets, beforehand I showed you each individual drill movement in its own section or own part. And I'm going to show you what the whole entire drill test should look like, and this is what I expect it to look like when it's sent in. Right, pace, close, march, at close interval, just right, dress, ready, front, extend, march, columns and files from the right, forward, march. Forward, march, close, march, forward, march, forward, march, extend, march, forward, march. Forward, march. Chain step, march. Forward, march. Column left, march. Forward, march. Forward, march. Eyes right. Ready, front. That is the end of the Achievement 3 drill test. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Please let me know right away. Please don't wait at all. I would like this drill test to be done in one cut. And finally, I wish everybody the best of luck, and I hope to see you all promote. Thank you.